Okay, hello, greetings and welcome. So this video is on Feng Shui. Now, Feng Shui is the nature of the balance of the elements in your natural environment around you and in your home. So it's an energy balance. Now, when we look at it from a Hermetic point of view, we're balancing fire, air, water, and earth so that we can enter Akasha, that we can be still. So this energetic balance, we start with fire element. And when you scan your environment, fire element connects to eye consciousness, to sight. What stops your mind? So when you look around your yard, is there a pile of building materials there? Is there a rubbish bin? What makes your mind go, oh, and stop and go, oh, I've got to do that. I've got to fix that. I've got to get rid of that. I've got to clean that. Scan your room, scan your yard. Look at what makes your mind stop. Visually, what's unappealing? This is kind of common sense. So we work with the eye consciousness first. You look around the room, wherever your eye stops, okay, I've got to fix that. I've got to fix that. I've got to fix that. And then if you have a big industrial type of rubbish bin or something like that outside your home, make a little picket fence around it so that as your mind scans across your yard, it doesn't stop at this ugly rubbish bin. If you go into a Japanese garden and you look around the garden, your mind gets pulled out into the garden. It doesn't get pulled onto an object. When you're admiring the beauty of a tree and you go, wow, that's beautiful, your mind continues to spread. It doesn't contract. So this feeling of how visual objects make the mind contract need to be removed. There's always an expansion, a relaxation, a release, a rapture, a bliss that's accompanying the experience of the environment that you're in. So when we're talking about sacred geometry, this is the first thing, that the mind just naturally stretches and extends out and feels really, really good. So take care of the visuals. This is relevant to how you think, how you feel, and your culture and your feeling. Visually scan your environment. Okay, so when we move fire to air element and the physical movement of air, there should be breezes going through your house. So if you're in an environment that's not too cold and you can open the windows so there's cross ventilation. Your inside and outside environment, if it's not polluted, should have a comfortable flow of air through your home. If the inside pressure and outside air pressure is different, you're disconnecting from nature. Your building should have a hygroscopic nature of equalization of pressure through vapor, through the walls, through the environment. Your skin breathes, your building should breathe. But we're not talking about air movement, we're talking about vapor movement. So you don't want air moving through the cracks in your building because that'd be very, very inefficient. You want it to move much slower than that. But in the form of vapor, the inside and outside pressures should equalize. And what this does, it creates a harmonious connection to nature and a harmonious connection to your environment. If you have an air conditioner or an air treatment system that is changing the pressure inside your building to the pressure outside your building, this disconnect creates a disharmony within the air element. So you want to have an equalization of indoor and outdoor pressures. Okay, so from air element, you look at the corners of the room. When air moves, any place where there's a corner, there's a lower pressure than the main airstream current. That means that lower pressure in the corners is going to make dust flow down and drop out of suspension. That's why on the floor, along the edges, that's where dirt's going to build up. Especially in a corner of a room that way, in the corner of the floor, you can have an increase of dirt in the far corners of rooms. So in the Chinese Feng Shui, it's put a plant in the corner or try break that stagnant energy in the corners. Now, basically, you just get your vacuum cleaner out more often and make sure you clean those edges and corners and get rid of that dirty energy. Now, the inner and outer worlds follow each other. If you have physical dirt, you have astral dirt. So the chi becomes dirty with physical dirt, and the chi becomes clean when you physically clean an environment. So keep your physical environment clean, and then the chi will naturally be clean. You can clean the air energetically with incense. You look at most cleansing rituals, they'll use incense, they'll put a prayer into the incense, and then burn the incense, and then it'll demagnetize emotions out of the space. Easiest way, open your windows, clear the emotions out, clear the energy out. All right, water element. Now, we don't want to leave any stagnant water inside or around your building. You want to aerate that water properly. Stagnant water is kind of like a bad luck, a bad feeling type of thing. So ensure that water doesn't collect anywhere inside the house. You don't leave water in the sink. You don't leave water in the bathtub. In the garden, if you have a pond, make sure it's aerated so the air is going through the water to keep it alive and healthy. You want to have a nice aerobic environment, not an anaerobic environment in the water element. You want to keep that water clear and clean. If you have dirty, stagnant water collecting anywhere, the energy of your body, you're mainly made of water, will have a resonance with that stagnation, and you'll be lethargic and you'll lose power, you'll lose energy, you'll lose momentum, because the resonance of the water in your body is the resonance of the water in your environment. So you'll feel this. Okay, so keep the water pure. Now, if you are living in an environment that is very dry, you may have be adding moisture into the room, and you can add an essential oil or something like that to increase that moisture in the room to help purify the feeling. Okay, so earth element. Earth element is the physical structure, the physical design, the physical architecture of the room. Thermal mass allows earth currents to move. If you live in a high thermal mass building, you're going to feel that the compression of gravity onto that thermal mass creates conductivity so that the energetic currents in the earth, which reflect off gravity, will move through the thermal mass. If something has a very low thermal mass, these gravitational fields won't move through the material. So wooden house has very low thermal mass, so you don't have this gravity. So if you're in a wooden house, you'll feel good. It'll be, I feel light, I feel comfortable, mind's open and free, but doesn't have a feeling of security, doesn't have a feeling of stillness and groundedness. If you're in a heavy earthen house, let's say this building's made out of clay bricks that are hand pressed, and the bricks have a feeling of they have a hygroscopic nature, so that the moisture moves through the clay between the inside and the outside environment while having high thermal mass. The feeling in the building is quiet and still and has a very comforting type of frequency to it. So when you sit in a high thermal mass building, there's a quietude underneath. Earth element makes things quiet and still. So it's better to practice in a cave if you want deep stillness than to be on a mountaintop. If you're on a mountaintop, your mind is going to be rising, expanding, you're going through all these expansion of consciousness things that are happening, but it's not a high degree of stillness. If you want the stillness, go in a high thermal mass environment where gravity is compressing, the electromagnetic fields are different. So it's a personality choice. Do you want to live in an environment with a high thermal mass where usually on the ground you'll see about a 1 foot electromagnetic gravitational field? That's why the Buddha said not to sleep on high luxurious beds, but to sleep on the ground. That 1 foot gravitational field that's coming off high thermal mass of the ground is creating a stillness, so that when you sleep close to the ground, your mind receives a type of stilling and balancing. Your astral body and your physical body get balanced out. So you have a deep sleep, you need less sleep, and you wake up with a deep sense of stillness. If you're floating high above the ground and your body isn't being earthed when you sleep, that absence of earthing, getting rid of the excess static in your body and balancing with the earth, doesn't give you the same depth of sleep. So even an earthing blanket, which is just a metallic sheet you put underneath your normal sheets and you ground it, this will discharge the static. So this will help. It doesn't fix the problem, but it helps. But being close to the ground works really well. If you have a futon mattress on the ground, you'll find that the futon, your body vapor, humidity, moisture move through the futon has a natural grounding effect. It electrically grounds you due to the conductivity of your moisture in your body moving through the mattress, through the futon. Okay, so the earth element and your connection to gravity and your feeling of safety, your feeling of security in your structure and your building, this plays a very big part on the Feng Shui, on the energy balance of your environment where you live. Now, the way your body breathes in through the skin, out through the skin, you want your building to breathe in and out through the skin of the building. Clay blocks are vapor permeable. Vapor very slowly moves through clay, moves through a straw bale house, and moves through natural building materials. Anything that you build a house with, you should be able to do the taste test, the earth element test. Put it on your tongue. We eat with a metal fork. The metals that you use in your house should feel, I can put that on my tongue and I'm comfortable. I'm going to live in it. I'm going to breathe through it. It's going to be absorbed through my skin. I should be able to put it on my tongue. So this toxicity test, wood, you can lick wood. You can use a wooden spoon and eat. You can use a stainless steel spoon and eat. You can use a steel spoon and eat, a brass spoon and eat, a copper spoon and eat and feel comfortable. But you're not going to use a galvanized spoon. If you had a galvanized metal and you put it in your mouth, you're going to go, oh, yuck, what's that? So galvanized steel lasts longer, but it has a feeling of toxicity to it. Let's say I've used a vapor permeable paint on these walls. You can lick the wall and go, yep, there's a little bit of chemicals in there, but it's not too bad. Where with most paints, you wouldn't want to lick it. It feels like, oh, that's toxic. So the taste test, to put something on your tongue, all the metal fittings, are they toxic or are they something I want to breathe and interact with energetically? When you're vital breathing in a room, the room becomes an antenna and tuning fork for your vitality, and it's permeating your physical, astral, mental bodies all the time. So you want to live in a natural environment. And this is one of the side effects of Qigong. You get chemical aversion and you have natural attraction. You get attracted to natural building products. You get attracted to organic food. You get attracted to being in environments that are close to nature and are harmonized and balanced with nature. So you wouldn't want to put insulation in your wall that's made of styrofoam. It's not hygroscopic. It can't breathe. Vapor doesn't pass through it like your skin. You want to have a material more like rock wool that's made out of rock, and it's vapor permeable but holds the temperature and regulates the temperature effectively. So these building materials, you really want to be sensitive to it. You want to take the building material, rub it under your cheek and go, oh, this feels really good. I could hug this. Okay, it makes sense. So there's a lot of common sense in the Feng Shui of a building inside the architecture. Now, there's sacred geometry, the shapes of windows in relation to proportion that makes you unconsciously feel comfortable. And you can research the Fibonacci spiral, research the balance of windows and walls, the balance of the height of the window to the height of the structure, and you'll see the Fibonacci sequencing gives a natural feeling of proportion. Now, when we're looking at the spirals that come out of the golden mean and Fibonacci spirals and these natural shapes that and fractals that are in nature, you want to simulate them in your construction, in your home. When you do that, you unconsciously feel comfortable. So you can do some research on this, on the golden mean. If, let's say, you take a chain and you have an angle of this chain when you hang it, that arch that's in it when you flip it over is extremely strong. And it has a feeling of resonance with gravity, because that is a natural shape of an arch in gravity. When you build using that shape, there's an unconscious feeling in your environment of nature generated that structure just by gravity hanging through that chain and that shape. You go, yep, that feels good. So when you vital breathe in a place that has that shape built into the architecture, the vitality and the vital force has comfort with that shape, with that architecture. Okay, so we'll leave it there on the Feng Shui, but you can see the common sense of visuals for eye consciousness, air movement, also for sound consciousness. I've left that one out. So sound, if there's any humming from electronic devices, leaving the TV on the background, which disrupts the mind, having a radio on, have a look at the sounds that are around you and remove sounds that regulate the mind. If you have music playing in the background, it's regulating your unconscious frequency. That means your spirit can't be in resonance with you and your environment because there's music regulating the frequency of your astral subconscious and your feeling experience. So control the sounds in your environment. Let the natural sounds of nature come in. And if you're in an environment where there's a lot of traffic or a busy city, then isolate those unnatural sounds from your inner environment and create your own inner environment that has the sounds feel beautiful. Okay, so the fire, air, water, and earth, and you use common sense with this. You know, when you look at north, south, east, west, the equator where the sun comes from, you want to clear the trees so you get good sun to dry your building out. And behind is where you put your trees, and you put a U shape around your building on the back of your building that doesn't get sun, and that's where you have your garden, your trees, and your forest. So these things are common sense, and we've done them for hundreds, if not thousands of years, where we natural clear a path for the sun to dry our structure out, to dry our home out, to get warmth into the home and so forth, position the windows and so forth correctly. These are all common sense. But I'm most interested in really here covering what you can do in your home right now. Look around your house, what visually stops your mind, and then correct it, clean it, put it in a different place, put it in the cupboard. So when you look around your space, your mind just goes, I feel good, I feel comfortable. Now I can meditate. Now I can be at peace. Now I can feel the love and open my heart into my environment and have a loving environment to experience. Okay, thank you for your time, and see you on the next video.